Meanwhile, congressional leaders are heading to the White House today in a last-minute effort to avoid a government shutdown. It'll be the first time since taking office that President Trump will meet with both parties. Republicans need Democratic support to pass a spending bill by midnight October 1st, but Democrats say they won't back it unless Republicans agree to reverse Medicaid cuts and extend Obamacare subsidies. Now, the White House press secretary says there is nothing to negotiate in the bipartisan gathering and zero good reason for Democrats to vote against the bill. ABC's Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill monitoring all of that for us. So, Jay, the president had canceled an earlier meeting with Democrats. So why agree to this one now if Leavitt's saying there's nothing to negotiate?
Yeah, the White House has put this meeting back on the schedule, and it's in part because if there isn't something done, then there's no forward momentum to avert a government shutdown. But you're exactly right, Diane. Those comments from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt underscore the White House's position, at least at this hour, which is this is not going to be a negotiation. And in fact, this meeting, this highly anticipated meeting with all four Republican and Democratic leaders up here on the Hill and President Trump might just be this kind of raking over the coals, President Trump trying to exert public or private pressure on Democrats in particular to vote for this temporary measure that would avert a government shutdown and extend government funding. But to your point, Democrats have said they are not going to do that. They're going to hold firm and try to get a reversal of some cuts to Medicaid that were in that One Big Beautiful Bill Act, that signature achievement of President Trump's passed some months back, and an extension of Obamacare tax subsidies that are set to expire at the end of the year. And if they're not extended, would extend premiums and raise premiums for millions of Americans. That's the position Democrats have here. But they are the group, unlike previous shutdowns, that are asking for something to be done in these negotiations, that are trying to inject some kind of a policy ask in these shutdown negotiations. In the past, that's been Republicans. So this is uncharted territory in some form or fashion for congressional Democrats. And it put both sides at loggerheads as we head to that shutdown deadline midnight on Wednesday.
And Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is set to speak ahead of this meeting. What do you think he'll say?
Expect him, when he speaks in just about less than an hour from now, to underscore that Democratic position that I was just outlining. But also remember, both Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the Senate, are under significant pressure from their base, from Democrats and especially progressives, to draw a hard line and to demonstrate that they are fighting against the Trump administration. That's one of the reasons why we've seen congressional Democrats come out in lockstep with these policy demands as part of these shutdown negotiations. But the reality is it's still, again, a position that Democrats are not used to being in. Typically in the past, as we saw, for instance, in the most recent, most lengthy government shutdown in 2018 in President Trump's first term, it was Republicans making demands on border wall funding. So it's a tough position for Democrats to be in, and the White House turning up the pressure to try to get them to just extend government funding without anything attached.
All right, Jay O'Brien on the Hill for us. Thank you.